good morning. So it is the eve before the Little Sisters Cruise Day. So tomorrow Jacqueline and I are off to catch the Aurora from Southampton for a 4-nighter over to Rotterdam and back. So I thought I would do a quick little vlog about how I have learnt to prepare for cruises. So I'm not pretending to be any kind of expert. This is only the 4th cruise that I'm doing. But I have picked up some tips from people like, and I'm going to do a few little shouts out here. Cruise Mommy, really good website. Even work out if it's worth taking a drinks package. They have a drinks package calculator on there. Of course, Travel Vlog Jamie, and you can get tips on pretty much any cruise ship going and itinerary. We have Sisters on the Seas and a Cruise Monkeys, and what's the last one? One Couple's Adventures. So all of those are brilliant vlogs to go and find on YouTube, or in the case of Cruise Mummy, a website. Oh, and of course Cruise Emma, is it Emma's Cruises? You can get loads of really good hits and tips from them. But what I'm going to do is just show you what I've picked up so far. But as much as I love going on adventures, I absolutely detest packing. So I'm going to do that first. Let's pack. Looks like I'm taking 2 suitcases for a 4-night trip again. I'm never going to be able to pack light, but then Jacqueline said, don't need to. But I thought I'd run through a few little extras that I picked up about taking. So, one tip that Jamie Robbins, Constable Jamie Robbins, is about taking an air freshener. Not only does it make the cabin smell a bit fresher, which is great if you're on an inside cabin, which I've never done yet. But this one we are on an ocean view cabin, so we won't have a balcony for fresh air. And you also find, you know, when we took one of these on our Norwegian trip, the smell then, when we buy it for the house, reminds us of that trip, so that's not a bad thing. So, an air freshener, either for your bathroom or in the cabin. All cruisers will tell you that this is good stuff. Crease release, because you can't take an iron with you. Some of the ships like Aurora do have laundry rooms with irons in them, but this is pretty good for just those little wrinkles that not these wrinkles on your clothes. Just be careful where you spray it. Maybe put a towel on the floor, it can make floors slippy. Sorry, bit of break. Right, and then I keep now a backpack, fun bag, fanny pack in my wardrobe, which is just full of bits that I've collected for cruising. So I do have earplugs. I do have a set of luggage scales for just checking that I haven't gone over any weight limits that are in place. We don't need them for this cruise because it's P&O cruises and all their plugs are British, but I do have a plug adapter. Now these are bought off of Amazon. They are luggage label holders. Really great for the P&O luggage labels because they fit in rather nicely, and I'll show you that later. But when we went on MSC, their luggage labels that we printed were too wide to be used in these. If you know differently, if you've managed to get them to fit into these, that's great. Maybe drop a comment on how or what you recommend, or if you know where you can get wide ones. These are just off Amazon. They've got a nice strong holder. Lanyards, I think because I wear lanyards at work, I don't really want to wear a lanyard when I'm on holiday. But Martin found them really useful for attaching his cruise card, so he could just quickly, you know, it's there to swipe when he wanted to get a drink, particularly on MSC. So we have a few of those in the pack, but one not, so that's probably mine. We've got our padlocks for our cases, and then the walls in the cabins are metal, so we have these magnetic hooks. They work really well, really strong if you put them up that way, not so strong when they go that way. but I find them really handy for hanging like my accessories and necklaces or my handbags from. And of course, if like when we travelled to Norway, there was 4 of us in a cabin, so these are really good for like hanging our coats from, giving us a bit more extra storage space. These again, just off Amazon. I think they weren't that expensive. Can't remember how much though. What else have I got in my little box? Oh yeah, anti-sickness bands. I do find that motion sickness on cruise ships for me is only really bad after I've had a few too many cocktails. So it's like my body can't deal with the hangover and the motion. I also have just a few of the local currency of where we're heading to. Always handy to have a little bit of cash on you, although I prefer to use my card. So I think that's all that I keep stashed aside. I have a bag full of things like paracetamol, ibuprofen, digestive medication, sore throat lozenges, and motion sickness stuff. Like I take the patches behind my ears and the Quells tablets, and I just take those with me because, well, it's always handy. And then there's a few self-care things that I do before I ever go on an exciting trip. So one of the things, because I work in healthcare, I can't have lovely nails, so as soon as I'm off work I get the next possible appointment for my favourite beauty salon, Beauty Secrets. And oh, look at those. They're longer than what I'm used to, and I'm paranoid I'm going to break one off, but they will just are fabulous and they make a nice satisfying noise. And then other things like I might dye my hair, because I like dyeing my hair, I might do my eyebrows. Just I pamper myself a little bit before the trip so that when I go I just feel fabulous. So that's it. I'll just show you how the packing's going. I am nearly there, but I have had to get another case down from the loft. The other thing I want to say, which is a bit of a me thing, I don't know whether it's because I come from a German mother, but I like to put together a little book. So this is the one I'm putting together at the moment. See that? So this will have like, it's got our boarding passes in, and at the moment it's got the luggage labels because I haven't put them on the cases yet. But what happens with these books, so I keep all the documents we need. It's got my the travel insurances in here, but I'll show you one from our Norway trip. I end up putting everything in here and it turns into a bit of a scrapbook. So like it's got our old boarding passes and insurance that's still in there, but then I collect like all the horizons, any leaflets and things that we pick up from where we visited. Like that's a paper that was like published on the ship every day. More horizons, and go on, you've got like a map of Flam. So it turns into a bit of like a scrap. It's really easy to make scrapbooks, like you don't have to. It's even got our bill for the last day. And so it's like a little, really easy to make scrapbook. So you start off using it to keep all your important documents to hand when you're embarking, and end up you put in all the bits of paper that you collect from your different ports or your days on board. And then I also put together like photo books from my phone, but this is just a nice thing. And to be fair, nobody else in my family looks at these, but I get excited about stuff like this. So you know, if ever we go back to Norway, I've got a little scrapbook. Even, you can see, it's even got our cruise cards in, although I think the boys kept theirs because there's only 2 in here, so Finn and Dion must still have kept theirs. So that's just so. This one doesn't have a front cover. I've got a little bit more creative since then. And just another tip that me and Martin came up with the cruise: get one of these old-fashioned travel clocks and set it to the time that the ship is going to be the next day. Because we've cruised only in Europe really, and the first day you're on board the ship from Southampton, for example, it's always set at our time, this time, UK time, that's it, UK time. But then during the night it always goes forward one. But we wake up really confused because we don't get internet, so our phones are still telling us that we're UK time, and there's no real clocks in the cabins apart from on the telly. And then, well, maybe Martin and I are just easily confused, but we thought if we've got a travel clock and we set it when we get on board for what the time will be the next morning, then we know to check this clock. Hopefully we've got it right, and that will tell us the ship time when we get up. And it has worked so far. Better cut the old cruise labels off before I put the new ones on. Don't want it ending up confusing somebody and on the wrong ship. So there we go. Let's put the new one. Okay, so now we're going to put on the luggage label, which come like this, and you need a bit of origami, but if you follow the instructions, it should be quite simple. So fold section A under using the lines and guide. So here we go. Maybe it turns into an aeroplane after this. And then fold a section B under using the line as a guide. Like one big pizza. There. And put this, and then finally fold section C under using the line as a guide. Okay. See, it looks a bit like this. And then we're just gonna fold, because normally what you can do is use a bit of sellotape or staples, and then you just loop it around your handle like that. Staple that bit there, and then that's all you have to do. But we've got these handy little things that I showed you earlier. Pop that in like that. And there we go. Luggage label. We've got 3 to do, and some jackling will pick up tomorrow. There we go. Luggage labels on. Cases are packed. Excuse me. Apart from a few little bits to go in, like my makeup and my hair straighteners and my brushes in the morning. Also got a little rucksack in there full of my important paperwork, some purses and chargers and things. Right, this is one last thing you shouldn't forget. Gosh, look how frazzled I look after packing. I'm good mad. Anyway, don't forget your passport and your GHIC card, I think it's called, your Global Health Insurance card, so that you can access care if needed abroad. And yeah, and your passport. You're not going far without that. So that's it. I think I'm just about ready to go. Need a holiday after all that packing. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, like if you like this, and also give me some comments on any hints and tips you might have, because it's always good to share, right? I'm going to go and sort all this out and pop to Aldi for a Mother's Day present. See you soon, stay tuned and see what me and my little sister get up to on the Aurora to Rotterdam. Bye!